Hey, welcome to Digging into the Bible. My name is Jim Barnard. This is a production of Tiller Coaching. All right, well, it's day 70. Holy cow, we are cruising. I'm loving it. It's so good. Today, we finally make it to the Passover. And obviously, when I hear the word Passover, I immediately think of what everyone else thinks of. Aaron Rodgers throwing a Hail Mary pass. The ball just sails. He passes it over everyone's head, right into his receiver's hands for a touchdown. I don't know why we don't do a Hail Mary on every single offensive possession, but, I'm not the coach. Whatever. This is a terrible lead-in. I'm so sorry. Anyways, the Passover, this calls back to the Israelites when they were entrapped, enslaved by Egypt. God kept working for their freedom, and finally, after all these different plagues that they gave the Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, it was one last really big plague that God had planned, and it was that he was going to kill the firstborn male of every family in the country, unless they had painted on the door frame this lamb's blood, which is so symbolic of Jesus and what's about to happen. Like I said the other day with the Lion's Choice shirt, that Jesus is described as the lion. Well, he is also described as the lamb. He is the sacrificial lamb. And so this lamb's blood on the door frame made it obvious for the angel of the Lord to pass over their house and only kill the firstborn son of every Egyptian. And so that's what that Passover is about. Israel gained their freedom on that day of Passover. So this is a celebration that happens every year. That was a really long explanation with a goofy Packers thing in the middle. Let's just go ahead and dig in. This is Matthew chapter 26, starting at verse 17. Now on the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Where will you have us prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.' And the disciples did just as Jesus had directed them, and they prepared the Passover. When it was evening, he reclined at table with the 12. And as they were eating, he said, 'Truly, I say to you, one of you will betray me.' And they were very sorrowful and began to say to him one after another, 'Is it I, Lord?' He answered, 'He who has dipped his hand in the dish with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him, but woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that man if he had not been born.' Judas, who would betray him, answered, 'Is it I, Rabbi?' He said to him, 'You have said so.' Now as they were eating, Jesus took bread, and after blessing it, broke it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, 'Take, eat, this is my body.' And he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, 'Drink of it, all of you, for this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink again of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.' And when they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, 'You will all fall away because of me this night, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I am raised up, I will go before you to Galilee.' Peter answered him, 'Though they all fall away because of you, I will never fall away.' And Jesus said to him, 'Truly, I tell you, this very night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said to him, 'Even if I must die with you, I will not deny you.' All the disciples said the same." All right, well, I'm already out of time, so this was good. Just kidding. So let's start at the end here. Peter is obviously got a lot of gusto here, and he is very emphatic. And of course, when this happens, he is going to peter out. You know what I'm saying? And he is going to peter out. Jesus is saying, "Hey, Peter, you're going to peter out. That's what's going to happen. You're going to deny me 3 times." And we will see, sure enough, Peter does that. I think that, well, I'll save the Peter denial for when it actually happens. The first section, the Passover, I've already explained that enough in the first part of this podcast. Are what I truly want to talk about is the Lord's Supper, communion. Man, Jesus says that we are to do this in remembrance of him, right? We don't see that explicitly here in this section. He says, take and eat, this is my body, and then drink of it, all of you, for this is my blood of my covenant, which is poured out for many of the forgiveness of sins. And then he promises to not do this again until he's with us. But basically in the other Gospels, we see the instruction to do this in remembrance of him, because it's so easy for us to forget. Like I called back to the Israelites and how God did this epic thing with Passover. And isn't it ironic that they're celebrating Passover right here? And this is going to be the longest night, like a crazy long night for everyone. But I think the narrative of what we see with Israel tells us just how forgetful of a people we really are. Man, they forgot about God and his rules and his promises and his blessings all the time. And if we don't have this like regular ritual, whether it's the Lord's Supper or really any kind of like daily discipline, it is very easy for us to forget about God and to forget about Jesus. And that's not good for us. It is destructive. So, I know that Peter forgets all about this encounter, during this moment of like, I will never, ever deny you. And he forgets all about it. We are forgetful people. And I think that we can learn a lesson here from this section. So I hope that means something to you. Gosh, I really blew the time today, but oh well. We're coming down to the wire, man. Like, this is all so exciting. It's hard to contain myself. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you tomorrow.